Well, hey everybody. This is supposed to be a close-up, but something went wrong here, and now, as usual, snafu. I think we're live though. So I'm here in the in my office. Actually, I thought we'd start here today with the little tiny tinies, and you can see we got Wellington and S name Squall. Oh my goodness, Squall. So Wellington and Squall. I haven't made any changes yet to our tech stuff, so if this drops out suddenly and I can't restart it and I have to start a new one, just apologies in advance for all that. But hey, let's get these kids out just to say hi for a minute. I want you to see how big they are. They're both, I think, over a pound, or this one for sure. This is Squall, the girl, and she's a couple ounces more than a pound right now, and you can see she looks like a big kitten, and she's got her teeth in. But she's not really eating for me so far. She's tried a couple bites of food here and there. Not her thing. She wants food to be pumped into her mouth. So they don't really nurse on the syringe anymore. They just sit there and wait for me to pour it in, more or less. They sort of semi-nurse a little bit, but they don't really latch on like they used to. They just have gotten lazy, and yeah, so it is what it is. I'm sort of starting on litter box training with them now by putting them in the litter box when I poop them, but they're not really ready for that either. That's got to follow the eating, I think, not come at the same time or before, but it's not going to stop me from trying a little bit. They're also starting to play. They're really bad at tracking objects. They can't really figure out, they can't follow things too well. They can't follow the bouncing ball, but they are starting to zoom around. They run here and there. They've started to play, they wrestle, they bite a lot, and they try to play with the toys. They're just not very good at it yet, so that's also a good sign. This is Wellington, our little boy kitten, Wellington. He's a little bit smaller and lighter, but not a lot bit. I think he's probably pretty close to a pound, if not just, at a pound. So they're both doing really, really, really well. And they are living here in my office with me. We've got an interloper, by the way. Spatula came in while I was talking. She heard me talking, and there's chicken here that I put here for our little chicken boy, Teaspoon. And Teaspoon has left, and now Spatula's discovered the chicken. She's going to help herself. And that's fine with me. I don't mind. She can have some chicken. Let's see. What else can I tell you about these guys? Just that they're doing really well. It's hard to say for sure exactly how old they are. Maybe somebody... one of the person that actually brought them in to the rescue, I know has been in communication by email, and I haven't responded to them yet. I think Lisa has, but I have not because I've just been so busy. But I might ask them if they can give me some additional details about that kind of thing. Nonetheless, they must be just about 4 weeks old based on the fact that they now both have their teeth in, and they're both just about ready to start on real food. And they both weigh about a pound. So all that says about 4 weeks old to me. I'm trying to show you the teeth a little bit, but I can't get the focus and the teeth and everything all at once. I think you can see them a little bit. So that's Squall. Squall is the one that she loves to roll on her back and play on her back. She loves to wrestle this way. She likes to have her little belly scratched. She's preloading a chomp right there. I love the fact that her lip is half black like that. That's going to look so cute when she gets bigger too. So that's Squall. And then Wellington's her brother, he doesn't spend as much time rolled over to play. He's more of a stand-up guy when he wants to play. But they do both play quite a bit. Oh, here's Spork. Spork has come in also to join the party. Now, we can go ahead and talk about these older kittens. They are ready to be adopted, and I know I've pushed people to our website already, kitten.academy, where you can apply to adopt the older ones and take them home pretty much right away if you get accepted by DAWs, the people that we work with that vet those applications. And I wanted to take a minute to just talk about the personalities of these kittens, which I guess we'll do as we see them. Definitely Spork and Spatula here are the two that are the most social with humans, and they both will want to follow me around. They both have come in here just because they heard me talking. Come for me, but stay for the chicken, I suppose. And I would say that of the two, Spatula is the one, the all-black one. Spatula is the one that will follow me around more and sort of stay at my heels and want to be involved in everything I'm doing and has just no fear. Where Spork is just a little more timid and a little bit more likely to sort of stay where she is and do her own thing and then catch up when she hears me talking, like there might be something she's missing out on. She also has been crazy about hanging out with these guys. They both have spent time, of course, sitting with them and hanging out, but she wants to be there. Every time she hears them eating, she comes running because now she's gotten addicted to drinking the little kitten milk that I feed them. And so she gets so demanding, I've had to lock her out of the room so that I can feed them without her just pushing them out of the way to eat all the milk, which is cute. It's cute, but it's a little much, honestly. So they're both just real fun, sweet kittens. And like I said, you can apply at kitten.academy. Let's see if we can take this down the hall, though, and see some other kittens without this whole thing falling apart. I've been just leaving that door open most of the time, too, because everybody gets along okay with the little tiny kittens. This is Goblet, and you can tell probably that Goblet's a little bit more shy than the two black girls are. Goblet is also female, and she's what you would call a classic tabby. But let's see. When I say a little more shy, she still is, a big fan of people, and she loves to snuggle with me and hang out and cuddle. But I've been introducing them all to the medium-sized tinies, the ones we were just about to go see in the annex. And as she's been meeting the medium tinies, she is definitely the most resistant to meeting the new kittens. She was very on edge and growling and pretty upset about the whole thing. She wasn't going to fight them, but you could tell she wasn't happy about it. So she's mostly been sitting out those little visits that they've been having. And that's fine with me, but it might just kind of be a note to somebody. She would be great to be adopted with somebody that's in her family, but she might take a little bit of extra adjustment, even as a kitten, to meet a new family of new cats. I think she would manage it okay, but it would just take her a little longer than you expect for a kitten. Kittens usually get along right off the bat, and you can tell she's a little bit more set in her ways already. Okay, let's try this again. This time we're going to get into the annex, and somebody in here has not fully completed their litter box training. I think I can already smell that there's been yet another accident in here, but I'm going to have to find it later. I'm pretty sure that it's Brawley that's the one. This is Brawley right here in front. This is Brawley right here. I'm pretty sure that that's Brawley like as an umbrella, by the way. If you're British, you get it, but maybe my American accent doesn't help any. Anyway, Brawley here, I think she's the one that still is having some trouble figuring out the litter boxes for peeing in and not everything else in the room. But I can't prove it. I caught her once like a week ago, and I haven't been able to catch whoever the mystery peer is yet. But I'm blaming her until we have evidence otherwise. And you can see, I think since the last time we talked to you, we've gotten them collars. Brawley has this cute little green and pink collar. And of course, she's easy to tell apart anyway because she is the tortie in the class, and you can see she's being very sweet right now. She wants me to pet her. They've all played a lot this morning, so they're kind of worn out. This is her brother, Bud. He's the only boy in the class. He's wearing a beautiful blue collar, but he's so floofy, it's a little hard to see buried in there. That's the boy, Bud. And then we've gotten a new visitor here. This is Raindrop, and Raindrop is easier to tell apart now because she has a white collar, which you should be pretty easy to pick out on the stream as well. And they all want some attention from me this morning. That's so cute. They also have been meeting the large kittens. We've been letting the large kittens, the ones that we just saw, such as Spork and Spatula, in here to play with them. And they play a lot. They get along really well together right now. This one is Sprout, and Sprout is supposed to have a bright pink collar, but it fell off, and I haven't been able to locate it. I keep intending to bring her a new one, but if you see what kitten with a bright pink collar or with no collar, it's probably Sprout. So that's the thing to look out for. And with that, we have seen each of them. Sprout, by the way, was snuggling with Serenity this morning in Serenity. I think it was Sprout. Was it Sprout? I think it was Sprout. Maybe it was Raindrop. I forget already. See, this is me. Anyway, the cute thing is that they are already snuggling in Serenity's little cage with Serenity. We'll go over there and see her in a minute. We closed the door because I'm going to bring their mom in as soon as we're done with this and let her hang out with her own kittens for a while. But when we have the door open, they all hang out. They even sleep together now. It's really sweet. And Serenity really has lived up to her name. Another case of DJ's naming being right on point. And that she's super serene. She gets along really well with everybody. She doesn't take anything too personally. Just super mellow. But this isn't Serenity. The purple color tells us that this is Drizzle. So now you can tell a little bit easier that the purple color is Drizzle. And really, the reason we picked those colors is Raindrop. Here we go. This is Raindrop right here. Is the one with the lighter face and the lighter coloring. Really hard to tell apart from Drizzle on camera, though. So she's got the lighter collar, where Drizzle is the darker one with the darker coloring and the darker face and has a much darker collar, so it should be real obvious on stream. So that's why we picked those colors and should make it real easy for you to tell them apart at a glance now. If you see them on the stream, you'll know who's who. I still do have to find that pink collar for Sprout, though. Hi, bud. These guys have also been making a lot more visits to the spa, which is, our master bedroom, and hanging out with us there, and they have a lot of fun with it. They've all met the little tinies and the big tinies, and they get along great, like I said. The only reason they don't spend even more time over there is somebody still hasn't learned about the litter box, and so things in the bedroom are also getting peed on when they're in there. You'd think I'd be able to catch them at it, but so far it's been a very stealthy thing. So yeah, lots of extra laundry, and that's okay. That's why there's no beanbag chair in this room anymore, because yesterday somebody peed on the blanket on the beanbag chair, and then I replaced it with a second waterproof blanket and washed the first one. And by the time I came back in here like an hour later, that one was also peed on. So I replaced it with a third one. And yes, like within an hour, that one was also peed on. So at that point, I was just like, all right, the beanbag's got to go. Somebody really doesn't get it. And that's okay. You start to learn at least what's going to set them off. And we'll get it sorted out. Again, I'm pointing at Brawley. I'm saying it's Brawley. It could actually be somebody else, though. I don't have proof yet, so I'm hoping to find that. Catch them in the act and get them moved where they belong. Okay, we're going to go out now. Oh, this is the last of the bigs, I think. This one in Teaspoon. This is Ramekin. Now, I was talking about how Goblet's a little more shy. Ramekin gets along fine with other kittens, so if Ramekin goes in there, she'll play with those kittens just fine. But she is definitely the most shy of the group, where, like, if I want to pick her up, she always makes me go on a chase, like she's doing right now. She knows I want to see her and play with her. But on the other hand, she is a big baby, where once I'm settled down, she'll come and lay on my lap in the bed and just want to snuggle, but really on her own terms. And when I say big baby, she is a big kitten. Show everybody your pretty face, Ramekin. Come on. Okay, I guess that's what we're going to get from her. But yeah, she and Goblet both hang out a lot together, and they both have similar personalities. Not the same, but similar, where they're both, Spatula and Spork are like puppies that follow you around everywhere. Ramekin and Goblet are much more independent, doing their own thing. And, in fact, somewhat resistant even sometimes to being paid attention to. But they do, you wouldn't be wrong to think that they were going to be nice lap cats someday. She's not quite yet. Let's bring their mom in real quick. If she's going to come to us. I don't want to show you this room because it's full of stuff. Okay, so this is their mom. This is, hang on, sorry. Okay, there we go. This is Puddles. This is the mom of the medium tinies in the annex. I know, I'm really throwing this camera around with you guys. She has been spending a lot of time away from them because she's eating too much, and she's also eating too much. You can see she's going right for the food. I'm going to let her eat for a little bit, though. That's okay for right now. She is getting really skinny with all the nursing, though, so we're trying to get her to cut back on that a little bit, and we're also trying to get her to cut back on the food because she'll just eat way too much and then end up with really bad poops. So it's a fine balancing act that we're trying to play, but that's why she's been out of the room when these guys have their food down quite often. Other than that, she is a sweetheart. She does get along with other cats, but not at close range so far. In fact, she's a real surprise hisser, where her hiss is real strong and real sudden, and she hisses at everybody all the time. So far, she has not quite settled down about that and stopped hissing at everybody. So it's a process, but that's all she does. She only hisses. She's not going to chase them. She's not going to fight them. So she's not a problem. It can definitely be off-putting to the other cats, though. So we got to take our time getting her introduced to everybody, and we have been. And she's slowly getting better about it. But it won't be real progress until we can see her get close to somebody without hissing at them. So, that's what we're hoping for. Okay, let's come back out here. Oh my goodness. And one more kitten to visit. The aforementioned Serenity. And when I was talking about having the door open, of course, I mean the door that goes in between the two rooms, the room we were just in and this one. We can open that and unlock it, and the kittens all come over here. I'm tripping on toys. The kittens all come over here and play. You can see they want to come over right now because they hear me over here. They come and play with her. They play with the toys in here, and some of them have even been, like I said, they're going into her little box that she likes to stay in and snuggling with her. Now, talk about a shy kitty. Serenity is super shy, but a little bit paradoxically, she's also the best snuggler in the world, where you've got to invite her. You've got to, in fact, kind of force her to come out and sit with you to snuggle. But once she's there, she will snuggle endlessly. It's just her favorite thing to do. She'll roll over, and she kneads, and she purrs and purrs and purrs. Just absolutely loves to snuggle, but she has to be forcefully invited to start. And she's the same way to a certain extent with everything, but I've been real surprised lately to see her playing a lot more often, and she's really come around a little bit with the kittens. When the kittens come into play, you can tell she wants them to play, and she makes play noises, but she doesn't want to intimidate them, so she just waits for them to come to her. So she's just great that way. I mean, just a great kitty. She's also been around all the faculty, and she gets along fine with them the same way, where she is never going to approach them, but they can come right up to her and sniff her and touch her and do everything they want to, and she doesn't react at all. So just, again, Serenity, a perfect name for her. She's super serene, gets along great with all the other cats, in that she's just never going to be one to start trouble. And it's been fun to see her wanting to play with the kittens. She got Teaspoon to actually play with her the other day. They were both playing on the ball track at the same time, and she sort of playfully swatted at him, and he took it well, and she was having fun. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that soon. The only reason that she's not living with them full time is we still haven't been able to resolve her bad poops. We've tried everything, and now we're back. We're circling back around to try some things again that we've already tried once and see. I don't know why. Mostly because I'm out of ideas, or at least out of good ideas. And I'll go talk to the vet again soon, and we'll see if there's anything else we can pursue there. We'll eventually get her bowels to calm down, I hope. Some cats, too, just have sort of an irritable bowel their whole lives, and there are things you can do about that, and we might be getting to that point with her where we suspect that's the case. Because, like I said, other than that, she is just great. She's got a great attitude and a great everything. So we'll see. We're taking good care of her, and she's starting to really enjoy her life, I think. Even though, more often than not, she's trying to roll over now, so I'll pet her belly. More often than not, you're going to see her just sort of calmly minding her own business, or being, again, in the carrier here. She loves to hang out in this carrier. So that's fine, too. I'm going to put her up on the beanbag chair, though. There we go. Okay. So she is, though, just the absolute best snuggler in the whole house. I think she even takes top spot over Loganberry, who's also an endless snuggler. You've got to be the one to call it off. You got to say, all right, that's enough. I got to go do something else. Loganberry's never the one that calls it quits. But she's even more that way, where she's never gets enough of the snuggling. She'll just let you snuggle forever, and she loves it. She's going to roll over. She purrs, she needs. Really good that way. So, all right. I think we actually just saw everybody, which is good. I think I've said a couple things about the personality of each kitten. Oh, you know who we haven't seen, though, is Nibbles. And Nibbles has been super wonderful. Nibbles is another cat that gets along with everybody. She's the mom of the older kittens. And now that she is done momming them, she's turned into a kitten herself. She just runs around the house and plays, and she's got these balls that she likes to play with, and she carries them all over, and she calls to her kids and everybody to please come play with her. She's got this particular meow that kittens do when they want to be played with that she's just doing all the time. It's real sweet to see how Nibbles is just 100% kitten now. Just 100% kitten. And you might recall that when she first got here, I'm talking about Nibbles even though I'm touching Serenity. Let's go find Nibbles if we can. You might recall that when Nibbles first got here, a lot like Puddles next door, she wanted to hiss at everybody and tell them to stay back, just to keep away from her. But they did, they respected that, and now she's gotten over it. And she is just great, perfect friends with everybody, never a problem, until she meets a new kitten, of course. Then she's got a couple hisses for them too. She just wants them to know what her rules are, and then she doesn't mind being and hanging out with them all day long. Which is why I guess they haven't been on the stream as much as some cats, because they've had total access to the house. There she is. They've had total access to the house for a while. There's Custard. Here's little Eddie. So as you can see, she's just hanging out with everybody, part of the gang. Maggie's out in the cat run. I don't know how well you can see that. And then here's our mom cat Nibbles, who's now a mom kitten, I suppose. She's so beautiful. But she's usually either too busy playing or just too busy doing her own thing to be much of a snuggler anymore. Which is interesting because she snuggled pretty well when she was having her kittens. So should probably get back around to it, but she's just having way too much fun being a kitten these days. So, which is great. It's wonderful to see that, to see her just playing and kittening. I wonder if we could get her to chase after something right meow. Oh no, she's going to go outside. These guys have also all learned to use the cat door, which not every class learns, but you can see I haven't had to open the door for them. They just go in and out whenever they want. That's pretty cool too. It's a beautiful day out, so it's good for them to be out there. What did you say, buddy? Oh, I should mention about Spork. Since we're talking about personalities, Spork has the biggest vocabulary of probably any cat we've ever seen. She's got so many different noises and sounds that she knows how to make, and she uses them all to talk about things. She loves to talk. She'll just make little noises when she wants your attention or when she wants food or just to make noises at you because she can. And some of them are very inventive noises. Like she's got, you just heard that little brr, brr noise from her that's pretty typical. But sometimes she goes into this thing that's like a really long meow, kind of like when Ari sounds like somebody's letting the air out of a balloon, but she does it even longer. I hope you get a chance to catch some of that on the live stream because it's really entertaining. She's just got the biggest vocabulary for a little kitten. That's little Sporky. Oh, she's purring now. So anyway, oh, there we go. I almost forgot Teaspoon. Oh my goodness, how could I forget him? And also, he's the one that's been to the vet for his update. I was supposed to tell you about the update. Why didn't I do that? I don't know. I'm just not thinking right. But here he is. So now we can talk about his little update real quick. His update from the cardiologist. He had his recheck. And the update is that, well, he's still got an enlarged heart. He's still got a problem with the valves in his heart, I guess is what it is. And I'm not super technical about it. DJ's super technical about it. She posted a big, long description on the Discord about it. But the short story is he's still got a problem with the valves in his heart. And so the solution is going to be to perform surgery on him. In about 4 months is when he'll be big enough to actually have that done. And I asked, is this something that's just good to do or is it something that's absolutely necessary to do? The cardiologist said, no, this is one of those things that's absolutely necessary for him. He's going to have this surgery done. And I think it's what they call a stent, where they sort of put a balloon in there and use the balloon to open up his artery just a little bit more so that the valves don't have to push quite so hard. But it takes such a tiny little catheter and a tiny little balloon. They don't like open up his chest like heart surgery. They just go in through a vein. It's real easy. They just poke in this long wire with a balloon on it, and then they inflate it a little bit, and then they pull it right back out. So it's pretty simple stuff when it comes down to it. It's just that he's so tiny, and those veins are so tiny, they have to wait a few months for him to get bigger first. So the plan right now is for him to stay until that gets done, which is, like I said, about 4 months from now. And just like Millet, who stayed a little bit longer than usual because of some health issues, I think that's going to be the plan for him, where he'll stay a little bit longer, and then he'll find the right home to live in after that. So that's the plan for him. Meanwhile, the cardiologist put him on what's called a beta blocker, which is supposed to make his heart actually work a little less hard, because trying to pump all the blood through that sort of narrow vein causes some kinds of fluid buildup, which might be part of why he seems like he's got trouble going to the bathroom sometimes, and causes some other issues too. So the cardiologist, until we can get that surgery, has put him on something called a beta blocker. And the practical upshot of that, he just started that today. The doc said that might make him a little bit more tired than usual for the next few days. So if you see him laying around not doing much for the next few days, that'll be why. Although I have to say, so far I haven't noticed much change. So he's a kitten. They just kind of go no matter what you do. So we'll see. So I think that is all the news about Teaspoon. Oh, I see somebody's got the real details here in the chat. Grace Valenti, narrow pulmonic valve on the right side of the heart. That sounds right. I know it was on the right side, but I don't know. Pulmonic stenosis. I can't even say it right. I get the idea anyway, and I think you guys get the idea too. So there you have it. That's our little Teaspoon. Teaspoon's favorite toys are the ball tracks and the ball towers. It's been a while since I think we've had a kitten where that was their favorite thing, but for sure that's his favorite thing. That's what he was doing to bond with Serenity upstairs. They were both playing with the ball tower at the same time. He always loves the ball towers and the ball tracks. It's really cute that way. So that's little Teaspoon. And that now is definitely all the news, I think. Probably. Definitely, probably, maybe. If I think of anything else, I'll be sure to do another close-up and let you guys know. But meanwhile, thanks so much for tuning in. And if you want to keep watching the kittens, you can just check out the Kitten Academy live stream. We do it 24 hours a day for 7 years now. So the kittens are always on it, more or less. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks so much one more time. And we'll see all of you next time. Eddie, show everybody your beautiful green eyes. Oh my goodness. Eddie's, I think, 13 years old now. And it's crazy to think about that. I still remember picking him up like it was yesterday. Hey, buddy.